Hello, welcome to a special evening edition of Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions. Just put them in a chat in all caps. I have my questions for tonight, but if you come on just before the normal live stream, which is almost always at 12 noon Chicago time, except for tonight, and I'll see what I can do. Oh, bless. Hello, Michelle. I just saw Michelle at the other live stream. Anyway, hello. All right, I am here to read on some political things. House of Lenormand. Becca is in the house. Becca is extraordinarily good. She does these amazing Lenormand grand tableaus. Becca just blows everybody else out of the water. So if you do not follow Becca at House of Lenormand, please do. And also, Kate Priest is here. Hello. Thank you, Kate. Kate is, we worked together at a bookstore. And so we've done our time in retail. Oh, okay. That's why there was a delay as well. I'll just say this very briefly. Becca's saying, I just got notice that the release date on your book has changed. Any word? It isn't actually changing. It's just that Amazon has a thing where you have to turn in a manuscript like 3 days early, and then you can't touch it until everybody has it. And there are just some things I still want to polish. So the official release date I moved to like a long way away, as far away as it let me, which is like 30 days. But I'm still coming. I'm going to hit the publish button Friday night at 10:55. I use astrology. With my publishing. Friday night at 10:55, I'm going to hit the button. And then overnight, Amazon should work its little magic. So the book's still coming out Saturday. But anyway. Oh, okay, got it. Okay. So, all right. So, and that's why I was late today. Thank you, Linda Kings. I appreciate that. I didn't get my book in today though. That was the thing. This bought me some more time to polish. So, I for the next few days I'll still be, not enough sleep and lots of typing. But I really didn't like not being here today at noon. So thank you for being out. Okay, let me get to your questions. All right, let's start at 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. I don't do my own editing entirely. I have other people doing that as well, but oh my gosh, I listen to it. There are like all these different ways you can improve your own editing, and I do those too. And I just want to polish. Anyway, Electra says, so I take back my happy turn-in book day. Yeah, that'll be Friday. All right. So Linda Sandoval has company. I hope you have a great time. And Michelle says, but you're here now, and so are we. Exactly. Let me get the show on the road. So Electra Storm had a question from yesterday. It feels like it was days ago, I've carried over 3 questions from yesterday that I didn't get to. So Electra Storm asked, when will we finally get out of the patriarchy and white men only and step into the age of fairness for all people? I think it's going to be a gradual shift, but let's see what the cards have to say. So let's see. Trying to not do this so I don't make a horrendous amount of noise. All right, patriarchy. When will your days be numbered? Or when will the numbers for the patriarchy hit zero, since I think the days are numbered. The end of the patriarchy, and fingers crossed, hope for fairness for everybody. Parts of the world, we know they're still in the dark ages as far as this topic goes. So, but here. Or perhaps just Western civilization. Chariot. You notice how the two sphinxes, one has dark skin, one has light. And right now there's a big blonde guy right there, but they're actually, if you look closely, it's the one thing about the Chariot card. They're not moving. They're sitting there, and he's not really holding their reins. He's just making himself look big. And they're rolling their eyes like, oh. So justice card. Well, if you could get justice, fairness, balance, that would be good. Page of Cups. I get this quite a bit on questions like this. It's these generations coming up who believe more in equality. That's good. 9 of Cups. Howling at the Moon. Rather, the Moon card and the 3 of Cups. It's coming. It's definitely, things are going to become more fair, especially the young. And when the young cup, when they are all together and of an age of maturity, there will be more equality. There will be, there's nothing to say that any of these women aren't trans. Some equality there, and if you try to do differently, you get shut down. So it's positive, but it's going to be a while until we get full equality. Part of it is demographics. You have to remember that, because there was a huge, the baby boomers, so this huge, massive group of people, and then you had kind of a dip. Apparently, things like Gen X are the birth rate came down, and then it went up again. So you've got to, even if Gen Xers are starting to get older, there's still this big group of baby boomers who are not in any hurry to give up power or to suddenly have an epiphany about equality. So, but yes, Dave, I agree. It's all going to be okay. Yeah. Polly Wanda says, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but did Hillary really swallow 33,000 emails in a bunker under a pizza shop at Area 51 while Soros danced in his undies? Hang on. We have to answer these important questions. And I have just the tool to do it. So, did Hillary really swallow 33,000 emails in a bunker under a pizza shop at Area 51 while Soros danced in his undies? Oh, ask again. Okay, I'm asking again. Hello, Pumpkin. Pumpkin's on top of the cat tree. There's Boo Boo's and Kitty. But Pumpkin's up here. Hang on. Come on. Answer for sure. Now we know. All right. Well, thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Kate. All right. So our next question is from Nanette. Nanette Hardy asked a question at 10:30 here. What do you think, sweetheart? Are you going out? Kylie Cockamamy. You okay? He's like, I am a cat. I am fine. Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Pumpkin. Kylie Cockamamy. Will she sing like a canary, like a cockamamie canary, or plead the fifth? Her deposition is coming up on is it Friday? Is it relatively soon? Thank you, guys. Kylie Cockamamie's deposition is coming up. I want to sing it's talking about the Pecker Vault, which was for the Inquirer. I want to say I saw an interview with Ronan Farrow, and I think it's Ronan Farrow actually saw the list of stuff of Trump stuff that was in there, and it was basically just more affairs. It wasn't much more than that, but anyway. All right, Kylie Cockamamy, McEnany to those of you out there. Entertainment only, unless you have these New Age beliefs, in which case this isn't 100% accurate. That's not why we do this. But will Kylie Cockamamy tell all or plead the fifth? The energy is she feels very put out by the whole thing. Very. That's the energy I'm getting from her. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Your boss tried to destroy democracy, and you've been mildly inconvenienced. Linda Kingsley say from now until the 18th, the committee has called most of the loonies. Yes. I was showing the graphic the other day from MSNBC that showed each day in December just more and more and more and more. So, Temperance. Well, she's listening to her lawyer. Robo Smith says she will not jeopardize her job at Fox. No, she won't, but how welcome is she going to be back if she's truthful? Anyway, the Star. We're starting on the Star. That tells you what we're dealing with here. 4 of Wands, the Mar-a-Lago, the symbolic base of Trump power. 7 of Pentacles, fruits of labor. King of Pentacles, that is Republicans. King of Swords. So they want information from her, not about what she was doing, but what she knew, when she knew it, what she heard about what were the Republicans doing, what were the people around Trump doing. They want her notes. They want her to flesh out the just what she knows. It's not really aimed at her, as in they think she was, she was helping to organize it, or she was organizing it. So basically, as far as she's concerned, she's being asked to, in a sense, rat out her the people she used to work with. And as much as we love the people we used to work with, Kate, I'll be honest. If you tried to overthrow democracy, I'd say what I know, and I would think you'd do the same. But the thing is, though, it's the big names, or the household names in the Republican Party, the Trump Party. It's not the world's largest group, so does she snitch? To snitch or not to snitch? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to... There's nothing noble about working at Fox. Ick. Thank you, Betty Harper. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, leave everybody out in the cold. She's also going to learn from their questions. That's one of her things. Sorry, this can get twisted sometimes. There we go. You learn a lot from the questions prosecutors ask or the committee's asking. So 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords. Oh my gosh. 10 of Wands. They have the information. They are out for, as far as she's concerned, political blood. To be honest, this feels like a lot of snitching. It isn't snitching, it's being an American. It's protecting the Constitution. And even if you haven't taken an official vow to protect the Constitution, if you're an American, you just should. Hello? Anyway, the January 6th committee is not playing. I am here to tell you, this is not for funsies. There's some. They're mad. And they are not holding back. And Liz is not holding back. So, whew. Man, oh day, have they got information. Well, stinks to be you. Maybe you shouldn't have gone and worked for an authoritarian monster. Just a thought. Okay, 1830. At 1830, QAnon cultists are starting to complain. They're starting to complain about Trump and how these failed predictions are starting to get very old. It's getting very old. You said he was going to be back in power. You said he was going to... You mean the walking embodiment of all 7 deadly sins? The man who has a trail of failed businesses, had to give up $25 million because of his university fraud, on and on and on, and he wasn't telling the truth. No. Use your head. Use your head. Common sense. So, this was asked of me, is the orange tide receding? Red tide is toxic. Orange tide, is it receding? Yes, and they haven't seen JFK? He couldn't even be bothered to show up. Very naive Republicans. Very naive conservatives. Very naive people who read a book. Seriously, it just feels like they really need to read a book, expand your horizons, see what's out in the world. Please. Even when I lived in a place that barely had a library, you can bet I was down at that library reading books all the time. Everything I could lay my hands on. You could do it. Library card. It's your friend. They're great. They don't cost anything. These are very, very naive people. Education is your friend. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to go to school. You could follow an interest. Let that lead you to another one, to another part of the library. Let that lead you to another part of the library. It's fun. Two of Cups. Oh, the people on the left. It's a secret. It's all. That's the only reason they have power, because it's a secret. Magician. Oh, see, this can be like an excellent lawyer who's standing up and who is saying how it is, or this can be the sleaziest salesman you've ever run across. Wait, that would be Trump. This is just malarkey. That's what that is. That is your Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn, who actually Lin Wood now has on tape. Michael Flynn saying the whole QAnon thing that Michael Flynn has been pushing and has made a lot of money from is total nonsense. Has it on tape. Those kind of people. These people are feeling out in the cold. And there's also, this is my card for white supremacy. There's also a, I don't know, some kind of back of the brain, knuckle dragging, white supremacy garbage. But really, these are, what is it? Trump even stood up there and said when he was running for president, I love the uneducated. Do you remember that? Do you remember that quote? It's an actual thing where he was up on stage and he said, I love the uneducated, looking out at the crowd. I think he had just finished the actual speech. So he's standing like next to the podium and talking to the people, and they're cheering for him. I love the uneducated. Where else are they going to go? That's the thing. It pretty much just, it's this. The thing about when you think you know a secret or you know how something's really working, you feel like you have this insight into what's really happening. It gives you a sense of power. If they give that up, what have they got? Nothing. Where do they go? I mean, you and I know that there are plenty of people out there, great people to meet and talk to, who are not white supremacists and who, have interesting stories and are very nice people, but they, so they'll just, a lot of them will just huddle together. So, whew. Okay. They'll keep on keeping on. Members of the cult. Temperance will come eventually, but right now, and the energy is still absolute howling at the moon. There are still plenty of people who are Trumpers, who are conservatives who, I'd rather be Russian than Democrat. Like those idiots who were chanting about the horrible thing about Joe Biden at the sports arenas. Really? That's what you're chanting. There are enough people, just random people, at sports games. So they'll just huddle together. Oh, boy. Idiots of a feather. Okay, 26. Mark Meadows. It's funny. I just read on that energy, and now I feel isolated. I have all of these wonderful people here, and you guys are so sweet. But I just read on that there were over 400 people watching, and I suddenly just feel totally alone. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got kitties, I've got family, I've got you guys. I am good. Get that energy off of me. All right. So at 26:30. All right, Mark Meadows is said to be taking a deal and submitting evidence and documents to the January 6th committee. Will he actually submit anything incriminating on Trump? Because it has been, thank you, Kathy Anderson, thank you. It has been reported, I believe it came out today, there was a headline where it said he is cooperating. Yes, exactly, Linda Kingsley. Thank you, guys. It's starting to bother me though because it keeps twisting. I guess when I'm shuffling, it moves. Oh well, it'll do what it's going to do. We're going to have to move on to things. Everything's time-stamped, so people can always go to any of my live streams and just pick and choose questions. You don't have to sit through the whole thing. All right, so Mark Meadows is said to be submitting evidence and documents and working with the committee. After all, is he really? 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 Pegasus says Meadows has a book coming out on December 7th called The Chief's Chief. Ugh. Mark Meadows. Talk about patriarchy. Talk about somebody who is so, how do I put this? Because I keep a very clean channel. So I try to keep the energy up high so that we can look at this muck. Go down to the muck, read on these people, and then go back up. You can spend a lot of time out of that muck. So I try to keep things clean around here. Let's just say Mark Meadows, the best way I could describe what Mark Meadows' energy is like is, let's just say that he keeps his head in a very dark place. And he's a member of the authoritarian cult. Seek help. Seek help. Mark Meadows, seek help. Yikes. Michael Grant was a lawyer, but now isn't able to do black magic. So I thought they were one and the same. I'm just kidding. All right, Chariot. All right, Meadows. Here we go. You were there. You saw. Work, work, work. Your documents, your notes. Ooh, looking ever so closely at whatever he gives over. Because he was in the middle of this mess. That is the Queen of Swords. That is an investigator. 10 of Cups. Oh, the committee. They're working on the whole set. Like commemorative plates. The Insurrectionist commemorative plate set. Here's Roger Stone. Here's Don Jr. Here's Eric. And all the plates you'll see, they've cracked. They just do that on their own. They came that way. It feels like the committee is actually coming up with the whole set. They're filling in the gaps. So they are very powerful. Like I said, the committee is not playing, and there is work material. Plus, they have information from these more than 200 interviews they've already done, and they can actually work out even for every little piece of information from him, they can connect the dots to other things. So they're going to get the information. Now, how cooperative he's going to be? Publicly, he's going to be as cooperate as the absolute least amount, other than I'm being forced to talk to them, or I'm just giving them. Don't worry, Donald. I'm just giving them, just something small. Don't worry. He's very loyal, but they're not playing. Let's see here. Paula Vela says, blimey, it's 2:30 a.m. here in Spain. Oh my gosh, Paula, shouldn't you be sleeping? Shouldn't you be sleeping? Okay. Polly Wanda, yes, let there be tapes. I agree. Okay. All right. So we are moving on to actually a Lin Wood question, 33. Lin Wood is the gift that keeps on giving. I mentioned how Lin Wood had that release that tape, Flynn saying that the QAnon stuff was nonsense. Oopsies. Well, Lin Wood is the gift that keeps on giving. Now, one of his secretly recorded phone calls with XOverstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne accuses Sydney Powell of pocketing money stolen from her Defend the Republic PAC to pay her own legal fees against Dominion. This time, apparently the feds are watching and investigating. Will Powell face jail time? And also, the second part of this, the next question would be, is Lin Wood going to bring the rest of the far right down with him? Whew. Okay, Sydney Powell. So you set up a PAC, got lots of money, and then you pocketed to pay your own legal bills. Did you just, it would have been easier if you just walked into your office, just take down your law degrees, just rip them up. Just rip them up and walk away. Apparently you don't want to have any kind of ethics or do anything actual dealing with reality and how things should be done. So you could have just done that. But sure, bury yourself. It's your right, I suppose. So, okay, so Sydney Powell. Feeling some panic. Yeah, there's a whiff of panic coming off of Sydney Powell. The world, her world is about to change dramatically. The world she has been in. So, Ace of Swords, 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords. Am I going up the river card? Really? 9 of Cups and Queen of Wands. Well, now. The energy is tangled because she's done so many different things potentially wrong. This is the card for going up the river. It's a card I get most often for people being sent to prison. It can be this or the Eight of Swords, depending on how hemmed in they feel. But this could also be having to go from place to place for all of these different court. The Sword of Truth is coming against her lies about Trump's win, the far right victory. It's like, no, this is the Sword of Truth. It's also the Sword of Justice. And this feels kind of like her sitting pretty over here, but there's, related to this, there's all this stuff against her. So she's sitting there, but let me see, because in this deck, the throne she's on, she looks quite happy and smug or what have you, whatever queens do. I don't know. My North Node isn't in Leo. My North Node's in Aquarius, so I'm not here to be a queen. So it's like, I guess smug. I don't know. But it's almost like her back's against the wall as well. That big solid behind her where she can't get away, she can't back up anymore. She has to sit there in court. Let me see if I can get any more information, but that card in the middle, and the fact that the world as you know it is coming to an end. Kristen found some news. Federal prosecutors subpoena records from Sydney Powell's groups as part of a criminal probe. Yeah, I'd explain it. Yep, that's going to be part of it. Don Gubb says, at least Sydney will still have all the odd places she goes to in her head. All right. Yeah, she threw a lot out there. Just a lot of Trump nonsense out there. All right, Judgment. 2 of Swords. 5 of Cups. You made a decision. Tried to kick down the cups. But there was an election. And this was your legal choice to go out there and say these things you knew were wrong. You tried to kick down the cups and it didn't work. And now you got to pay for the cups. I would not want to be her, but then again, I wouldn't do what she did. So justice. And that's ultimately what I want. I literally, I'm sincere when I say I do not want any of these people being hurt. I don't want violence. I do not want them getting sick. I don't want any of that. I just want justice. Actual fair justice, which I know with our judicial system does not always happen. But here we are. All right. Yes, Polly wanted to release the crackpot. All right, 40 minutes in, and you're still with me, huh? Oh, okay, here we go. It's Lin Wood. He's apparently been recording his phone calls for quite a while. He apparently has many. Oh, Holly Coleman saying astrology alert. King Neptune will turn direct tomorrow morning. Basically 8:20 Eastern time, 8:23 Eastern time. Neptune rules fiction, lies, spirituality, the ocean, water, but drugs, altered states, stuff like that. The entertainment industry, artists, but it is early on that list, lies. And if it's going backwards, there can be a nice little tangle of the truth. But then it goes direct again, and it just straightens those tangles out. Because it doesn't see lies as lies, it sees it as fiction, and it wants to help you. It wants to help you make that story work. So it just helps lay it right out. So, thank you, Floating Lotus. Thank you, guys. Hang on just a second. Pamela Bryant. I did. It's just unruly. All right. So at 41:30. All right. Is Lin Wood going to bring down? Is Lin Wood going to just personally just bring down people on the far right, left and right? If I'm going down, you're going with me. All right, Lin Wood. Lin Wood's top 40 greatest hits. Lynott says, wait, so Neptune going direct exposes hidden details? It can. It's more like it wants to lay the fiction out for everybody to enjoy, which means there's scrutiny. No, here, it's beautiful. Look at the story. Look at the story. It's not remotely attached to reality. Isn't this? Look what I found here. Here, look. So it just hands it up for scrutiny. And then you go, Neptune, that doesn't mean what you think it means. That's the energy I get from it. So anyway, I will get to the question, I promise. All right. Lin Wood. Lin Wood's bandstand. Greatest hits. Oh, wow. Cards coming right off the top of the deck. That usually means I won't do the whole thing, but behold my field where I grow my, whether I care or not, and see that it is barren. That's Lin Wood's energy right now. Card for the reading. That's a lot of tea. Don't know if he's got the tea, but we're definitely in the right area because kind of wish this was the last card. It's like, oh boy, better bring the sugar because there's going to be lots of tea. Hello, Texicon. It's been a minute. All right, 9 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 4 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles. There are a lot of people shaking in their shoes, wondering what he has. There may be one more big one, or even one bigger one. But then there's this that feels strong. That the tea has not stopped flowing yet, but there are two ways those other cards could go. The knot says he's a happy little Mad Hatter with all that tea. I love that. All right. The bully. Trump institutions in matter of time. Asking about Lin Wood's potential tapes. Could he have one with information about Trump? And maybe some smaller people who want to deny it or just keep their head down. But it's hurting the Republican plans. And then I wanted more clarification here about this. I get card of the bully. Can be the spy, but it feels more like a bully, or in this case, both. Trump the man, institution, government or institution, Wheel of Fortune. It raised you up, it will crush you underneath when it decides. Yeah. So, cheers, everybody. Cheers. 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 Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Cheers. 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 Goodness. Okie dokie. Cheers. Okay. Pamela Bryant. That does sound like big band. Cheers. Yes. All right. So at 48, we're going on to. Oh, did you feel the cold chill of the darkness? One of these days, I'm just going to move this around to the other side. Yeah, it would be too hard to do now, but basically, here, so if I can turn this instead. Here we go. Does it show up? Not very well. I'll turn it up. Yes, get this little fog. The cool mist racing across 4840. And 49, basically. Just turn off the lights too, because we're getting really creepy in here because we're reading on Epstein's former pilot. Oh man. Oh, there you go. Kristen brought the headline of it. Just in, Epstein's pilot names Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, Kevin Spacey, and others at the Ghoulaine Maxwell trial. Yes, indeed. Indeed. So Epstein's former pilot took the stand at Ghoulaine's trial today, and placed Trump as someone who flew around the world with Epstein several times. He also recognized one of the accusers. He said he remembered her blue eyes. Now, you have to understand, I used to work on the far, far periphery of aviation, and I mean far. I had like just a couple of flight lessons in my entire life. I do not have any certification. I am not a pilot. Okay. I worked the front desk at a flight school. I worked the front desk at an FBO where the private planes came in. That's it. All right. I have had control of the button that will open the door so you can go out onto the tarmac. That is the extent of the power I have had. That and a hopefully winning smile and helping people, whatever, set up stuff for these private flights. Meals delivered for the flights. Do people have, when they arrive, do they have some hotel rooms, all this kind of stuff? Okay? And I'm putting that all out there because I talk to pilots every single day. Pilots who were flying these private planes for these stupidly rich people. They're not stupid. You don't get to be. You're not put in charge of $40 million aircraft for, if you're a dimwit. How did this guy fly for Epstein all these years, meeting all of these young women? And, gosh, I didn't know what he was doing. Pilots, yes, they spend most of their time up in the cockpit, but pilots see stuff. They also have reason to get up out of those seats in the air and go back into the cabin. Let people know about weather and stuff and delays and problems and so anyway, the actual question, the one I should be talking about, will dirt come out linking Trump to the young girls Epstein victimized? But I want to pull 3 cards just quickly about this pilot. Really, he had no idea. He thought that Epstein was running a Make-A-Wish Foundation outlet, all of these young people. Really, Mr. Pilot? Do you know how many teenage girls I saw get off and go on these super expensive jets in the whole couple of years I worked there? Off the top of my head, I can't remember any. I'm sure there were some, but I honestly, I cannot picture in my head, in my memory, I cannot remember a single 14-year-old girl. I'm sure there was one, but you didn't know, right? Really, you didn't. You Tower. Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. They can't pin anything on him. That's one thing these pilots are good at doing, keeping their mouths shut. Their jobs are very lucrative. And it takes a certain amount of ego to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go get in this $40 million building-sized thing, and I'm going to go take it up into the air and land it and move it, and $40 million building, and you're just going to move it here and there. You need a certain amount of ego to be able to do that. But there's a reason that the majority, not all, but the majority of pilots are Republican. Ego. There's also a reason that the divorce rate is so high amongst commercial pilots. Anyway, on to the question about Trump. 56. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there. 56. There we go. All right, so will any dirt come out linking Trump to the young girls Epstein victimized and Maxwell victimized? GM Dave saying pilots know stuff. Yes, they do. Oh, thank you, Google Peace. There's still some silence around this. Not everything's going to come to light. In the trial, we're not just talking about the pilot. In the trial, will stuff about Trump come to light? They're looking. But I'm not getting major arcana. Yeah, it feels like there are investigators trying to find victims, trying to talk to victims, trying to get victims to come forward. But I don't know about the Maxwell trial. Well, accusers ever honest, truthful accusers ever come out against Trump? Yeah, he's gross. This is aggressive law enforcement. This is the sort of truth. This is, people have been beaten up by a bully. Well, we'll have to see on that. Okay, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Exactly, Linda. All right. So, what is next? What other nefarious scumbags can we read on? For those who are asking in the chat, I'm on late because I thought I had a deadline, a novel manuscript submission deadline today at 6, but it turns out it's being pushed back to Friday night. So I put things off before anyway, so that's why we're late tonight. And tomorrow we go right back to 12 o'clock Chicago time, Central time in the US, every single day. You never get rid of me, try as you might. All right, at 1 hour. Okay, so Trump has been trying to exert executive privilege, even though he's no longer the executive, and Chutkin, I think was the name of the judge, the first judge. She was the one who ruled presidents are not kings and plaintiff is not president. That is the legalese for Linda, will we do this Friday at 7? No, because the dates are the publications late at night. Or sorry, the submission deadlines are late at night. So no, it's just going to be this noon. So, thank you, Justin's mom. So Trump's attorney in the executive privilege, it was a January 6 documents case. It tanked in court today, not being able to adequately explain why a former president's privilege is more important than a current one's. Judge Millet, who was one of the appeals court judges, gave the Trump team not a lot of room to wiggle in. I read the article on that, and there were some the arguments that were made. The questions the judges were asking didn't look great. And court watchers are saying it's pretty much guaranteed it's going to go from here to the Supreme Court. But it does not look good. So the question was, is this the beginning of the end of Trump's bid to hide the truth? What's this be? Is he going to lose? Is he going to lose this? And from there on out, in theory, there are any number of legal things he's held up because he was president or because he says he has privilege. There are a lot of other cases in theory that could fall like dominoes. I'm not liking the energy I'm getting off the Supreme Court. I'm not saying they're going to take his side. I'm not liking the energy. It's like stubbing your toe. That's the energy I'm getting from this hitting the Supreme Court. It doesn't kill you. You're going to be fine. But something about it. Yeah. Judy Barth, exactly. After the appeal is denied, he'll go to the Supreme Court. That's the energy I'm getting when this goes to the Supreme Court. But hanged man, that would be suspension. Okay, cards for the reading. I've got the 5 of Swords, insult to injury. 2 of Wands, that is communication. That is what he was communicating. I've got the Knight of Pentacles, Strength, and Page of Cups. The Democrats have the strength here. But in fact, they don't have to have, and this is just the beginning, but they don't need to make a big show and a whole lot of bravado. It's like, no. This is the information, this is the ruling, this feels very strong. And they just want the information about January 6th. The insult to injury, the communications about it, who was around him, who he was talking to, who was involved. And if it ends with strength and a page, because it feels like these two were together, not this. See if I can get a clarifier just to make sure. Whoops. Dropped a card. Hold, please. So, Ten of Wands. That's a lot of paper. Those are a lot of documents. The Sun, the Hermit, the Devil. He's going to lose. Looking very, oh so very, very closely at the corruption. Things coming to light, but there's also a link here to some of the white supremacy groups, people in them. He's going to lose. And I hope I get to see it, because that's what I want. Justice. 10630. Oh, right. The Guardian. Speaking of justice, the Guardian is reporting that Trump called his top lieutenants, wannabe SS, of the insurrectionist movement at the Willard Hotel in the wee hours of the morning of January 6th, so basically the night before, to discuss ways to stop or delay the certification of Joe Biden's election win from taking place. Guardian's reporting that Trump called the top lieutenants at the Willard Hotel. Is the report true, and will it lead to indictments? Let's see. Is it true? I don't think he slept much the night before the insurrection. My guess is he had a lot of powdered donuts. Legally, there are witnesses. Toast. Okay. So, somebody there, maybe it was somebody who was like helping, or somebody's personal assistant or secretary, or it feels like somebody there, around there, hello boo boo, has some things to say. Hello dear. Trump calling in. Bless you. Bless you, sweetheart. Okay, that's a big old justice card. Let's turn down the atmosphere here. Big old justice card. Oh boy. Queen of Wands. Death. This is the people who are politically married to Trump. Talking about death. And as a reader, I mean, and you guys are readers too, a lot of you are. How many times have you had to say to people, this death card does not necessarily mean actual death? Most often it doesn't. In this case, what they were talking about, I don't know. Doesn't feel completely hypothetical, but who knows? Entertainment only. King of Pentacles, Empress, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, boy. Who's got a butter knife? Because I think Trump is toast. Somebody's going to talk. The people who were there, we're going to know. Wheel of Fortune, It's almost like there's a time lock on this information. And it will just come a day when deek, 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 bing, unlocked. That's what it feels like. Linda Kingsley says, I read for a living in Vegas for a while. Oh, jeez, I bet that was interesting. You okay? Okay. So I have to check on him. Yeah, I think that's kind of, yeah, let's wait for that. All right, 111. Ugh. There's a new book out, and you guys, I'm sure you'll know who wrote it. It's the guy with the big beard. Does he work at Mother Jones? Who's the guy? Anyway, he just wrote a book about the Trump family and how they fleeced America. Oh, let's miss it. Interesting. So CNN is now reporting the Trump org fleeced the American public for $1.7 billion during his presidency by funneling taxpayer dollars through his various companies. Is this legal? Will he and his family face any consequences? Wow, okay, the energy on that is bad. Like, instant pond scum. Like, oh, let's look at this water, and suddenly it's like poof, face full of pond scum. Okay, that's icky. Will actual Trump family members face consequences for fleecing American taxpayers of 1.7, or fleecing the American public for $1.7 billion? It's odd. I got 3 cards, 2 in the middle. 9 of poor Trumps. Being a member of the Trump family, it's just, they're so put upon. So many subpoenas. So much, everyone always going after them for just being corrupt white supremacists. What's the harm? Okay, I got 4 of Pentacles there. That's running out of money. 2 cards in the middle. Justice and Temperance. And the Chariot at the end. Yeah. Yeah. It could be taxes, could be New York State, could be Manhattan, could be Florida, could be Washington, D.C., could be, yeah, they're all, yeah. There's, this temperance isn't a tempering of justice. It feels like a tempering of their lifestyles. Yeah, there's a world of legal hurts coming for the central Trump figures. So, all right. All right. Thank you, Jean. So at 1:15, we are down only a few more questions. 1:15. The Denver Post put out a public apology to Representative Ilhan Ohmar. since Boebert seemingly wasn't able to. The Denver Post managed to rip Boebert to shreds in the process, with her home state's biggest paper now against her. Are Boebert's days in D.C. numbered? She's so vile. She is so vile. Thank you guys for being here. Boebert. She was that girl in high school. She wasn't like the mean girl, but she was just vicious. And isn't she accused of using like $200,000 of campaign funds to save her gun-toting restaurant, her restaurant where you're encouraged to walk around with your gun? It's an accusation, I thought. I could be wrong. Page of Wands. Yeah, run in your mouth. Messenger. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Cups. 8 of Wands. Devil card. 9 of Pentacles. She is only having the success she's having because of her extreme right-wing views. If it was just her, if she needed to get by on just her own merits, her restaurant wouldn't have survived. It's this, I have money, I'm sitting pretty because I'm chained to this disgusting racism and being a rotten person and encouraging racism. Oh, it's $23,000 from the campaign funds to pay business bills. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy Barth. Thank you. Well, thank you, Em. Thank you. I appreciate that. So she's gonna run her mouth. And frustrating be in with the Republican dynasty and frustrate the libs. She's going to keep running her mouth. And she's kind of a one-trick pony. Something racist. Something racist. You want to hear something racist? Go over there and, push her nose. Something racist. Judy Barth says there was repayment as soon as it hit the news. Imagine that. Azalea, thank you. Thank you. Crickets. It literally just, it feels like done for. Usually that means, quite often that can mean legal stuff goes away. This doesn't feel like legal stuff going away. You're in trouble. 3 of Swords. Ick. 6 of Wands. 3. No, you don't get the Democrats over here all happy after legal swords or some kind of swords going to truth. Maybe January 6th, going through the heart, hitting where it hurts over this attempted right-wing victory. You don't end up with these happy people over here if this ends well. This is flanked by this and this. The card for the reading is swords can also be voting, voters. Doesn't look good. These are not the cards you want. If I don't do personal readings, except sometimes every blue moon I'll do it for friends or something. But if you come to me and you're like, I'm running for office, or I'm in office, I want to run for re-election, how's it going to go? Are you a Democrat? Please tell me you're a Democrat. Because otherwise, thank you, Maria. Thank you. Okay, at 121. Oh, the Patriot Party. I should get the humidifier / smoke machine going again for this one. These people are awful. 121. The Patriot Party, a new faction in Arizona who firmly believes that Trump won the 2020 election. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. All right, let's do it this way. The Patriot Party, a new faction in Arizona who firmly believes that Trump won the 2020 election, missed their deadline to submit paperwork to the Secretary of State to legally be considered an actual party. You want to be a party, huh? And you just couldn't fill out the paperwork. Really? Will they cut their losses and disperse or continue to stir trouble? Well, I'm sure they'll stir trouble in some way, but as the Patriot Party. So what is the future of Arizona's Patriot Party? My country made of sleaze. Racist hypocrisy. The Patriot Party. No. It was like no. Karaoke night, absolutely. Queen of Swords. That could have a couple of meanings. I'm going to leave that one alone and see what the other cards say. We'll just leave that over there. Because that could mean they're being watched, they're being infiltrated, or it could mean they're a party of weapons. It could be both. I don't know. 4 of entertainment only. 4 of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Hanged Man. World card. Whew, you're going down. Whew. Man. Did you see that jump shot? Whew. Oh. Oh, you're going down. Wow. Major arcana. They've been infiltrated. They're being watched. They're being infiltrated. Their loyalty to the Trump base, Republicans. But in future here, I've got Chad, the hanged man here. Chad is suspended. World with the death card means you are toast. You are, slather yourself in butter because you are toast. I just know. The world card is the end of the chapter, the book. it can often be something that is a strong demarcation between different parts of your life. Next to the death card, that could not be more. These three cards. Oh, Net, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're done. Oh, you're done. Oh, boy. That's gotta hurt. Give it time. Man. Whew, whew, whew. Thank you, Linda. Linda McMurtry, thank you. $126. All right, Holly Coleman had a question, and this is going to be our last question for tonight. $126. It's a good one. Holly Coleman was asking, what does December have in store for us in general? Let's have a look. December 2021. As we go into, tomorrow is December 1st. December 1st is just hours away. As we go into December, the last month of 2021. Wow. Thank you, Flower Power. What does December have in store for us? Well, one, I will be on the Black and Orange channel every day of the month, because that's how I do, doing the live streams, reading the political questions. And I'm there every day. And all those live streams are time-stamped, so you can just pick and choose. You don't have to sit through the whole thing. Just want to say that, because that's going to be a big chunk of my December. But all of us, our December in general, December 2021, we will remember for what? Joanne's birthday is Thursday. We should remember that, honestly. Michael Grant says solar eclipse is December 4th. Yes. Queen of Wands, those are often people who are politically married to Trump. But let's see. Can also be a woman of action, but I don't know. Let's see what the other cards say. Two of Cups. Five of Cups. Ace of Cups. Sun card. Five of... Wow. Wow. Major Arcana. I want some clarification on this. But this is good stuff. This is going forward. This is, win some, lose some, but this is winning more than losing. There's some disappointment, but there's a whole lot of working together. There's also people getting vaccinated, getting boosters. This is in the center. In 3, 5, and 7 card spreads like this. It's a card in the center that has the most power, at least in how I write or read. And I'm getting a low internet warning, slow internet warning. So if I disappear, I will be right back, but it should be okay. Just come back in a second. Anyway, it should get stronger in a second, I should say. But this is good in the middle. That's a lovely card. That's caring, that's family, that's emotion, that's sensitivity, democratic power. It's all kind of good stuff. This, I want clarification on. Institution, Sun card. Yeah, a couple of meanings, and chat Wadsworth saying the picture froze for a bit. Yeah, it does that when the internet gets slow, I'm afraid. Usually the audio is okay, but the picture will freeze up. Oh, Floating Lotus, my booster is scheduled for tomorrow. Nice. Okie doke. December. What was that about the institution and the sun card? Ace of card for the readings, the Ace of Pentacles. World card. I'm getting a little concerned. I don't have the Justice card here, but I'm getting a little concerned with the energy coming off of this, feeling a little bit like the Supreme Court in the Mississippi case. Yes, Squeaker Bunny. I'll pick you up in a minute, dear. Yes, you. There's going to be they're going to be a lot. The January 6th Commission is on it. We know that. On the December 28th, Jupiter goes into Pisces, which is usually good for not only the pandemic situation, but it's going to be bad for Trump. Bless you. Boy, you're sneezing a lot. All right. King of Pentacles. And all right, so January 6th committee. I'm not getting super clear energy on the SCOTUS ruling. And I'm a little surprised it came up. But what? What is it? Hi, how are you? Oh, there's kitty. Oh, big stretch. Oh, easy, good boy. Ultimately, we're going to be okay. We really are. We're going to be okay. Somehow, we'll be okay. And we'll be okay together. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And I hope you guys were able to see on the community page or social media the picture of him from this morning. That was not staged. He was, I turned on my computer, he was right there. And that look on his fuzzy face. Goofball. All right. Hey. Wow, I guess I don't get any more of the almond nog. Goofy. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you guys for coming out for oh look, like a woman in the 50s of my first stole. He stole my heart. Him and his brother. I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Take care. There are good days ahead. You are not alone. We're in this together. Okay? Say good night, boo-boo.